away.
Well, because she heard it with like air.
Yeah,
and then it bounced around. Bounced
I guess
around
we're
the
hearing
nation and
everything
came
with
back to
air,
her.
but non-digital, analog. She heard it analog.
Science is fun, right?
That analog air,
I do say, can you hear my
Keeping it
voice
old
in class?
school.
And now I'm going to say, can you hear my air?
Hello, and welcome to Khyber Shards, a 5th edition actual play show set in the Eberron campaign world. Tonight's episode is brought to you by the Sword and Sheath. We got the Kolos Crusher working here. All right, what happened last time?
What happened last time? What happened? Let's see. We're on a boat. We own a boat now, sort of. Last time was the conclusion of our vampire slaying, smuggler foiling caper. We took.
I love capers.
We boiled some vampires in the river, and well, I guess a vampire, and then also, I guess I don't know if ghouls boiled, so we may have just polluted the river with a ghoul, ghoul bits. We floated the.
What happens to fish that eat a ghoul?
Find out next week on Khyber Shards. Oh no! Oh man, that's good. That's good.
We
Cool.
hired a dude to get the boat into a dock, and we grossed it. Well, I grossed him out, and he ran away.
Don't you diminish his value in this campaign by saying some dude. Salwyn, lifelong resident of Stormreach, married for 25 years.
All around pleasant.
Soon to be a
pleasant
pivotal
gentleman.
member of our
that
friend
guy.
group. All around.
Vital boatswain.
On the way,
Salwyn.
we inadvertently taunted the folks who presumably did the smuggle hiring, and also let them know that House Tarkanan 2.0 was responsible.
And in case you wanted to know where we live, also, we gave them
Yeah,
that,
well,
too.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah, it's not inconspicuous. We returned.
That's
We
fair.
returned to El Casa del Orlando, and La Casa. I guess it'd be La Casa del Orlando.
Yeah, that's why
That's the
we were
part
shaking our
that we were
heads.
struggling with.
And we debriefed. We let Thora know all of the great things that we did for her, as her A team, and we got some gold. And there was something else.
We leveled up.
Oh, right.
We leveled up.
We are all
Yep.
level 5 now.
Come on. Okay, dude. We
Esri is level 5 now.
Finally.
we had a shot.
The end.
Man, we gotta hope that Thora does not get another team so we can stay the A team.
She gets literally anybody else.
Right now, we are on the leaderboard of 1 out of 1. So
and barely.
The children that come here are just surpass us immediately.
so much more confident. Well, yeah, Thor, they're getting a decent education.
Oh boy. Okay. So time moves forward a bit,
As it does.
as it is inclined to. Hey, this is a magical world. You don't know.
Yeah. Unless we go to Zoriat.
Time can go up here. So you just time flows on, river-like, like a river polluted with ghoul flesh.
Oh boy.
And the school continues to refurbish. You are all able to set up your individual residencies in the school and begin to just make it home a little more. As we pan in on the floating Grimalkin Manor, we pan over away from the manor to the large copse of mangrove trees, where we see two of our party, Ari and Shade, standing deep in the little mangrove trees, in the copse of mangrove trees, as Ari attempts some outdoorsiness.
In the garden.
Baby steps.
It's training wheels. It's
100
training
feet
wheels.
away.
I just envision him also like every TV show where like the yuppie dresses for outdoor adventure Ari is
He's raided
dressed for the
Orlando's
occasion.
closet. He's wearing
Yeah, yes.
his LL Bean outfits.
yes.
Ari is out there glamping.
Gets dirt on it, immediately brushes it off. Ew.
Now, why would I need to start a fire? I have an ever-bright lantern right here. Okay, so I guess, Shade, I grew up on the road, so, I know how to put up a tent and stuff like that. It's just mostly the lack of control, I guess. Like, I can't survive. Yeah, I guess that's my deal.
Yeah,
in these situations.
Cannot control
Okay.
this.
Listen, I deprecated myself, so yeah, okay. I thought your sense was going to go somewhere else. Okay. Yeah, you can't control it.
Yeah, it's
So, like,
it's kind of like when if you fall into a river, you just go
Okay.
with it. Right? Until you like catch something. You can't fight the river.
oh, okay.
It's kind of the
Okay.
same. You just the forest, the wilderness, you can't break it or bend it to what you wanted it to do. You just go along for the ride.
Okay. So, like, where do you get food from?
Well,
Like, assuming that we run out of food.
right.
Like,
The forest provides it for you.
could you elaborate on how? Like, how do you find it? Like, the forest provides it, but obviously you have to know what is good to eat and what is not good to eat.
Yeah, you have no understanding. Okay. We should start with walks.
If I had understanding, Shade, I would not have asked you to help me understand.
I thought this was like a level 1 and a level 2 thing, but there's a lot of levels in between that. We should walk around and then I will
Okay.
just point things out to you.
Okay. That sounds like a good
So-
plan.
Let's
One thing
Okay.
real quick, just since part of this is you getting acclimated to the idea of teaching people, I'm a very self-possessed person. I have a good sense of who I am and what my deal is. If you're talking to children, then you might want to work on how you make them feel when you acknowledge their lack of competency, because there are moments where I don't feel great right now, and I imagine a child would feel worse.
But doesn't that
So,
make you want to then
maybe-
do better?
I mean,
if
kind
I
of,
point out
but
how much they don't know, then they can
it's
grow.
more in how you point it out. Like
Clearly.
rather than acting shocked and be like, "Oh, you don't know anything,"
It's true.
act excited, like, "Oh, okay, well then we have some opportunities to learn." Like, see how that's different than, "Oh, you don't know anything." Okay. There is a difference, and just we'll work. Okay. Walking
I will,
around.
I will take that note. Let's take opportunities to learn.
Yes.
We'll just
I dig it.
before we walk, step 1, let's just climb this tree real quick and then wait, and then you can see what the forest provides. And then Shay just like jumps up the tree.
And I'm okay, since you just jumped, I can do things to where I can just jump up the tree too. So can I just jump up, or do you want me to try to climb the tree?
I think you should try climbing it. I did climb the tree. I guess I should. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, then Ari's gonna make an athletics check to try and climb the ding ding tree.
Awesome.
6.
Ari flings himself at the tree, like tries to bear hug it, and then slides back down to the ground.
Man was not meant to ascend this high.
As we're on top of a floating island.
Okay, that didn't go well.
So let's try again. And so she'll hop down, and then she'll just climb the tree again. Like that.
Uh-huh. Do you have any point? Like, you saw how I tried to do it.
It was not.
Is there anything I
not
could have done
successful.
better? It was not. So what opportunities do I have to do better?
If you Colin, you're killing me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry, that's not your fault. If you could take the opportunity to go a little bit higher.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Maybe
I'm just gonna
you went at the tree. So this
yeah.
This time go up the tree.
Philip,
Okay.
I'd like to be around and sort of like sneak up and wait for Ari to begin climbing the tree, and I'm gonna energize a bunch of bugs and spores around him and create a dust devil halfway up the tree.
So halfway up the tree, suddenly there's a bug swarm swirling around the tree.
You have to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, this is the thing.
That's so mean.
Yeah, a 2. Yeah.
You're knocked 10 feet away from the tree.
So
Oh my god!
Okay, well that was unexpected.
Ow.
That does not normally happen.
I think the forest hates me.
Oh, she does not hate anybody. Well, that's not true. She definitely hates those who try to attack her. But you did not attack her. What if we try one more time with the tree climbing? And then if it doesn't work well, then we'll try something else. We'll just take a different opportunity.
All right.
Philip, when Ari goes to climb the tree, I would like to cast. I want to know if I can do this. So, tell me if I can't. Can I cast entangle positively? That the vines. Yes, the vines.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Like if poison ivy was on your team.
Right, and it just
All right. I'm gonna try rolling, and we'll see if Ari can be competent. 2.
All right. So you
It's
You
not even that you have a
fling
bad
yourself-
athletics, it's just a terrible roll.
it's a terrible.
You fling yourself up, and this time, the growths around the tree, like the vines and things around the tree, catch your hands. Like you grab at the tree with your very much non-clawed hands, unlike Shades. And when your hands touch the tree, vines just suddenly wrap around
Ow!
and hold them against the trunk of the tree.
I appreciate what you're trying to do. Art. Can I
Ari's
then
so bad at the woods he can't even take help.
can I then utilize them to just get up into the tree,
Yeah.
like grab around? Okay.
Yep. You can.
So
Your
Ari
hands
finally-
fixed. You can sort of walk yourself up a little bit and get up onto the branch.
Thank you. Yes.
You did it.
Flourishing bow. I appreciate the help.
Well, sometimes when we're in the forest, we need help, and that's okay to use help.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now we'll just sit here, and we'll look at what the forest provides. But
Okay.
But you want to do it quietly?
The cultured grove.
There are things in it.
I mean, we can.
Do they need things to live?
Yeah. I mean, we can. Yeah, we can be. Are you saying sit here in silence to experience the sounds?
Well,
or-
that's part of it. But I'll point out things to you. You
Okay.
asked like what the forest provides, and I can't tell you what it always provides because it changes. And so I would just point out what the forest is currently providing.
Okay, that sounds helpful. Do you also know what like I understand? I'm one of my biggest concerns is that I'm going to see something that looks edible and I'm going to eat it, and that's going to turn out to be a poor decision, and it's poisonous or you get. So how do you tell the difference between stuff that the forest is not providing and the stuff that it is?
Well, you just kind of feel it, like if you're thinking, I want to eat that thing, that looks yummy. And then if just something in the back of your head is like, don't do it, then you don't eat it.
Okay.
She just doesn't want to kill people in the forest that are respecting her. And so you develop with experience. You just develop the do's and the don'ts.
Okay.
You should probably stick to the things that you know. Rabbits and squirrels.
Okay. Do
And
you know how to
most
make
birds-
traps and stuff to catch rabbits? Like, could you teach me that?
I could teach you to be patient and stalk it. You don't really want to set traps because that's much harder to navigate them into it. And then also you're taking things of the forest and then manipulating in your own way, and that's not okay.
Isn't that what we did with the treehouse, though? Is we took something that would normally belong to the forest and manipulated it to be the way that we wanted it to be?
The treehouse was already there. I would not have chosen to do that if it was just a tree. But the house was already there, and so we utilized it the best that we could. But
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
you don't want to rip branches off of this beautiful tree and then build a box. That's disgusting.
Okay. Oh, okay.
First off, both of you have inspiration for this
Oh.
just
Thank you.
masterpiece that's going on over here. Meanwhile, Esri, returning from your prank.
Do I need to make a roll to see what books I found for Esri?
No, I've
all
got
this
them.
happened. Okay.
You found outside your door this morning a couple of large old books. One, The Rise and Fall of the Kingdom of Galifar by H.B. Irontusk, and Blade and Dirge, A History of Deccan by Orlan de
Okay,
Civis.
I'm not going to remember either of those, but... books, yes. Rise and Fall of something and a Dirge or something.
Mhm.
Can you put them in Discord?
I will, yes.
Oh. How thick are these books?
Very thick.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, asked and answered. Wish you could have found something a little lighter, but all right. Well, I guess yeah. Let's give this. Oh my. Okay. And I pick him up and go into the room and set him down on the little bookshelf, little dresser bookshelf that was already in there when we took over the room, and so Jalert is on the end of that bookshelf, facing the window. So he's not looking directly into the room. He's not like facing a wall.
Hmm.
And I sort of and turn him towards the interior of the room. Jalert, Mr. Alorente, are you there?
There is just the faintest glimmer from the jeweled eyes of the bust.
I was hoping we could talk a little bit. If you're around, I don't.
What?
Oh, good. I thought you might be indisposed. So
Deeply.
right. Yeah. Well, we'll see. So, yeah, I need to talk about some things with my mark and with what's happening with it. And I guess no one else. I've told a couple people that you said it's not an aberrant mark, and that didn't make any sense to anyone else. And so I was hoping you could explain more about that to me. Did you notice we moved? We moved. We're in a new place.
Yes.
It's a big house, and there's a library. And I had my friend. I don't really know much about books.
Imagine my shock.
It's really hard because your voice is it's real flat, so it's hard to tell. But he picked some books out for me. And so here, and pick up the first one and turn it. So can you read that? I don't know if it's in.
I can
Okay.
read it.
So, here's the deal. If you will tell me things, I'll read the book to you. There's another one. I don't know. Maybe this one's not but I don't know. Here, this one's it's also big. Here, and hold up the other one. Their history, because you said you didn't know anything about like what's been happening for like thousands of years, so I didn't know it would be best.
Yes. Would you make a persuasion roll for me with advantage?
Terrible. Less terrible. 19 total.
What is it you want to know?
Lots of things. Lots and lots of things. I guess. So. The latest.
Traditionally, the student sits on the floor.
Oh. Sure. Okay. How about the bed? Can I do the bed?
No.
Okay. So I'll sit on the floor, and then when I read, you'll sit on the floor. I'll put you on the floor. So.
No.
Oh, okay. So I just sit against the bed. Right. So.
Very good.
I guess. What's happened most recently is a vampire not a vampire, like a weak vampire. I'm not sure what she called it. It's not like a real vampire. It's like a baby vampire. Anyway,
Very well.
It talked to me and thought I was on its side. It was like, go team to me. And that was unexpected. And before that, I was able to make a skeleton move.
Yes.
That was accidental.
Your mark, as the mark of House Vol, will give you an inherent affinity with the dead.
Okay.
They will be inclined to view you as trustworthy.
The dead view? People?
Yes.
Hmm.
Intelligent undead, such as a vampire, would be inclined to view you favorably. They would see in you a kinship. Unintelligent undead would be inclined to view you as, to some degree, an authority, a master. The mark would certainly, when mastered, let you animate the remains of the dead, as you seem to describe in simple terms, in that of making bones move.
Yeah, they sort of put themselves together and started walking like a person.
Yes.
Okay. That's... Oh, right. Am I just, like, evil? And I don't know it?
Why would you be evil?
I mean, if, like, vampires and...
I could make a moral judgment based upon your actions toward me, if you wished, but that does not seem pertinent to your mark.
So it's gotten bigger.
Yes.
what happens if it gets even bigger?
As marks grow in power, they also grow in size. The greatest marks sometimes cover much of a person's body. In at least in theoretical cases, it is thought that the apex level of a mark would be to essentially cover all the skin upon a person. But they maintain a predictable shape, which is why I was able to identify yours.
But like, am I going to become a vampire or something like that?
Would you like to?
Mm,
You could. The necromantic capacity to create a vampire was mastered by the elves of the Kabalrian cities long ago, and learnt from them by some of the earliest scions of House Vol.
Kabalrian?
Yes.
Have I ever heard that?
No.
That's a city on this continent, or?
It was a collection of city-states in Zendrick, yes.
I don't think
House Vol had good relations with them.
that exists anymore. At least I've never heard of it.
It is the way of things to be lost.
Boy, I felt like I had a lot more questions, and I didn't write them down. Maybe I should have.
So yes, the theoretical ability to turn yourself into a vampire exists. It is difficult to turn oneself into a vampire. It is easier to have a necromancer turn you into a vampire, and it was theorized that vampires might be able to pass on their gifts to others.
Right, so vampires. This is a bit of a subject switch. Do you know anything called the Soul Sword, or know what that might be?
I'm not familiar with that.
So, recently we killed like I said, we killed a little, not quite vampire, or something like that, and it was here to get the Soul Sword for its master, and that seems bad. But we don't really know what that means, but I guess you don't either, so that's okay. How do you find a vampire master?
I would say the way that you find anyone. Vampires are one of the more limited form of intelligent undead. They are highly sensitive to sunlight. They require daily rest in earth from their homeland in order to regenerate and maintain their unlife. And there are several other aspects of the living world that they are sensitive to. As the Kabalrian developed, they developed more advanced, less limited forms of unlife.
Like what?
It was a form of ritual embalming that could allow a soul to continue to possess its body long after death. This body was much more durable and far less sensitive to the natural world than that of a vampire. And there were other theoretical ideas of creating external housings for a soul that might allow a creature to return again to it and create a new body for itself upon death.
Kind of like you? Or...
It is a similar theory, the difference being that once bound to this object, it would require another substantial act of necromancy to transfer my soul into something else. I cannot myself create for myself a new body with which to become once more ambulatory.
So, are you saying that I might be able to, like, be immortal?
Well, yes, that was, of course, the goal.
Oh.
To ensure that knowledge and culture may be preserved eternally throughout generation to generation.
Oh. Heavy.
So much was lost in the giant incursions that the various elven peoples spent much time considering the best ways to preserve themselves against the accidents of misfortune. And the Caballerine methods were the most promising in my time.
Yeah, so that makes me another sideways question here, but I apologize. What was the name of the city, the giant city that the fire city?
The Obsidian City?
Are you familiar with the Obsidian City?
Hakeb Kalnak would be a translation of the giant from the giant Hakeb Kalnak.
So we know a guy who's kind of a jerk, and he thinks that he was gonna go find that city. Well, he had a map, and he was gonna follow that map and find the city, and there was gonna be something there that meant that aberrant marked people would be a lot better off after they found it. And we are a little bit worried about that, because he seems like the kind of guy who might hurt a bunch of people.
The giants were a magically advanced race and might have any number of powerful things in a city of theirs, and if it is true that their empire has come to an end and their cities lie in ruins, well, then presumably one might find relics of theirs. I was never aware of the existence of what you call an aberrant dragon mark, so I cannot guess as to why it would benefit.
Okay, well, cool. Yeah, great. Thank you. That's good. I'll have more questions, I'm sure, because yeah, stuff keeps happening, and we don't really know what we're doing. All right, you want to start with Senor Iron Tusk or Monsieur Discivis? I'm sorry, Common isn't my first language.
Let us start closest to my time, which covers an earlier period of history.
You
actually would
okay.
know that it would be the one about Dakan. Would be an earlier period.
Sure, but this one sounds more exciting anyway. History of Dakan. All right.
Very good.
What language is it written in?
It's in Common.
Yeah, so Common. Like I said, not my first language. Might be, I'll do my best.
Very good.
And
start at the beginning. Do not rush. scene fades out.
Well, this is a story all about.
Let's see. Index 1. Beginnings 1A.
Start reading through the publication information.
Yeah. Reminds me of listening to Audible audiobooks. This is a presentation.
Figure 1A. I can't see it. Thank you.
Colin, where's Pog about on a day where there's no mischief being made?
I'm gonna say Pug is probably trying to make sure he still has a job with Carl, seeing how things are panning
Seeing
out.
as he's being
considering
advertised.
He's missed a lot of days.
You arrive and you see that Kolos Crusher shirts are now on sale in a glass case near the door.
In a glass case. Oh no.
I already tried to tell you licensing is a big thing. You should have gotten those rights. But
Hey, Pog.
Carl, what are all of these?
Well, I heard about you mopping the floor with Kolos in the Red Ring.
No, what? From who? No, I mean,
Lots of people
We
did.
had a
Everyone saw it.
there was so much more that happened there, Carl. It
Well,
wasn't.
yeah, but this is the part that was relevant to one of my employees.
Oh, are people buying them?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He reaches down and he pulls out a small sack that clinks when he sets it on the bar and slides it across. Yeah, I've been saving you a share.
Oh, well, I have a lot of thinks about this. I don't know which one wins, though. I guess I'll take it and keep thinking about it. I'm kind of doing some new things with my friends, and it's not chasing boggles. But I didn't know if you still needed any help around here sometimes, because we're kind of waiting on some other things to happen. I could still help if you wanted.
Hey, anytime you want to come tend bar, it'd be good with me. I could always use a good bar hand.
Has anything exciting been going on around here for you, or?
Well, let's see. There was a fight the other night. A couple of guys from the Ninth Wands came in, got into a fight with a couple of the swords. There was a stabbing. It wasn't a big deal. What?
But that used to be a big deal, though, Carl. Like we used to be surprised when people got stabbed. Has it gotten more stabby in here?
Maybe a little.
Oh, and you're just okay with being the stabby bar now?
Well, I mean, the swords keep me safe, so I wasn't in danger, and a little magic cleans up a lot of blood. That wasn't a lot of blood. I exaggerate. The guy was fine. Walked out on his own two legs.
I am not so sure about things in here right now.
Every now and again, tension between the various militias kicks up, and there's only so much you can do about it.
I guess so. It feels weird that you're so calm about this.
I've been here a while, and there have been attempts to overthrow the government, and there was about 10 years ago, there was a Saurgain warlord that tried to invade the city and eat all of us. little while back before that, the battalion of the Basalt Towers giants attacked the city. So, you know, stuff happens here. You just kind of got to roll with it.
I have really got to learn about the history of this place. I didn't know any of that.
Oh. Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
I was feeling better about it when I didn't know about that, though.
Well, you
Well,
know, it's the place. It's the place you live in.
Yep. I might have more to do than I thought. But, Carl, there's gonna be some things that you're gonna hear soon, and I'm not gonna try to talk about anything just yet. So don't try to get me to. Okay, don't. But I want you to know that that my friends and I are gonna be working really hard to make sure that there's more good guys here. And if you need anything, like anything serious, we can help. We've made some new friends, and we're going to be doing good things.
Okay. Well, I gotta, that's great. And, you guys want to set up a inquisitive agency or a private security firm or something weird like that. That's cool. But, I mean, that this bar, I'm on the turf of the Swords of Karn, so, I can't be, if you're gonna do stuff here of that nature, then you're gonna need to talk to the swords.
That's probably a pretty good idea. Yeah. I'm really glad I came to talk to you because I wouldn't have thought of that. I have a question though.
Yeah.
What is inquisitive?
Inquisitives are guys you hire to find stuff out. Like a private investigator.
Oh. I'll ask someone else. But that's good advice to talk to the swords for sure. Well, I'm gonna go, I guess. I'll come back later tonight, I think, and we'll do some work then.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, thank you for the gold. Can we maybe not say that I mopped the floor with Kolos though? That's
change that order on the next set of t-shirts, but
that's a lot to put on a t-shirt, Carl.
Look, if you want an opinion on design, you gotta hang around more.
I'll take that note. Okay.
All right. Good seeing you, Pop.
You too, Carl. Good talk.
So up in the tree, you have started to see some animal movement down below. This is whether these were planted by Master Greymalkin or whether these were just a part of the land before. They've definitely gone wild, so there are things that have taken up residence in this little grove. So you see some weird creatures. A couple of trees over, there's definitely an ocelot that's just lounging on a branch watching you.
Awesome.
Is that thing going to eat me?
Probably not.
I like it better without one word, but okay. By the way, I did want to say while we're just up here in this tree, I've noticed lately, the past couple fracases we've gotten into, you like seem to how do I put this? You seem to have really come into your own in terms of your mark. Like, you seem to be in a lot more control, and there have been a lot of sticky situations that I've been in that you've been able to really affect some good change in a very seemingly controlled way anyway. So
Thank you.
Whatever you've been doing, good job.
I have just accepted that they're part of my emotions.
Okay.
And when I understand that they protect and move with the way that I feel, it's made it easier to direct those very strong feelings to people who deserve them.
Yeah. Awesome.
But thank you.
Yeah, of course.
was very mad at that vampire.
I think we all were. And now we're going to have to learn how to live with Pog as he slowly becomes a vampire over time as well. But it's a joke, Shade. I'm just joking around.
Okay.
Yeah. But how are you feeling about everything after the vampire fight and the school and Thora and all that stuff?
I think my favorite thing so far has been this. I really like coming to the woods to teach you about them. That's
Thanks.
my favorite. Thank you for letting me do that. Generally,
Of course, I appreciate you taking the time to do it.
Generally the other stuff's a lot. There's just, it's a lot of peopling a lot of the time, and we're gonna just work towards more peopling, and I've accepted that. I get why. I like that it puts us in good positions. It gets our name out there, so people will be hopefully very upset if somebody kills us and or kidnaps us. And maybe as they get to know our names, we just won't be like on the table for kidnapping next time.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Well, if you ever want, because the peopling stuff I'm not terrible at, and so if you ever want help, but you do know that people like you, Shade. Like, when they get to know you, they really like you. So you don't need to be as worried about. I know you don't like people.
I mean,
but
like, they like who I pretend to be. I mean, I did not share with y'all how I felt about tree houses, because I get it. That's weird, and
it's not that weird. Like, I feel like I know you really well. I feel like I know the real Shade, unless I'm wrong about that, and I like you. So.
But you like a lot of people.
Okay, I
appreciate it, and I like you too.
That's a different thing. We're talking about two separate things, though. Like, anyway, like, there's certain people that I like for a time, but I like you more than most people. I'll put it that way. So
I don't think that's ever happened before.
Well, now you know.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome.
I like you too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I did want to ask you about something that you mentioned when I was kind of bringing up my curse business before, about how people can't remember me. And you mentioned
I won't forget
that you all... Thank you. What? What's the face for?
Before you said thank you, I think you were gonna say something along the lines of, I don't get to control it. And that makes me sad. Because I don't want to forget you. And I will work very hard to not. But what if I do? I will.
Oh. Okay. If something, and Ari like reaches into his very fashionable Eddie Bauer bag that he pulled out of Orlando's wardrobe. All right, so this one's almost full anyway, so I was about to have to start another one. So
It's next to his field notes notebook.
Yeah, he pulls out a leather-bound journal. A leather-bound journal, and you can actually see like it's faded over the past few weeks, but it's actually got some blood staining on it from one of the times that Ari bled out.
Sorry. There's been so many.
Okay, so specifically the alley incident is when he bled onto his journal. So I've kind of lived with the understanding that if something happens to me before I can deal with all of this, then nobody will remember me after I'm gone. In a much more real sense than, people that feel like they haven't done anything that nobody will, people will slowly forget. So I've been journaling my life, essentially, like what we've done, what I've done, my thoughts on it, just some kind of tangible, this is who Ari was when he was around, in the hopes that if something happens, that people could read this and not forget me. So, and Ari just extends the journal out to Shade.
Are you sure?
This one's almost full anyway, so you hold on to this. That way you can never forget me.
And she takes it. How cool is it that you taught me how to read so I could read this?
That was honestly lost on me until you point. That is very... Yeah, that's cool.
So see, I needed you to be able to remember you.
Yeah.
That feels important, but I'm not sure how. Thank you.
It does feel. Thank you. And yeah, I like if you want, I can't keep you from doing it, but if I know that you're reading it now and I'm not dead, that's gonna make me like. There are some pages where I really kind of like. There's a lot in there, and so I just maybe don't dive in cover to cover kind of thing. Just hold on to it for now.
Got it.
But if you want to peek, you can. But so you had mentioned when I was talking about all that stuff about knowing the Queen of the Forest and having contact in some capacity with her as an archfey. Am I making that up, or is that kind of what you said?
Well, in the sense, like I haven't met her, like been in her personhood presence. I don't know how to explain that. Like the forest is hers. And so
Okay.
I've been in that presence. Makes sense.
No, so she's the one that when you talk about like listening to the voice and like allowing the forest to guide you and provide for you, she's the one
Yes.
doing that, right? So basically, according to Pixel Dust, there's a chance that the Forgotten Prince won't even remember that he cursed me.
I think his name is Puzzle
and
Dust.
in which Puzzle Dust, thank you. Yeah. Sorry, I've just a lot of things going through my brain right now, and I'm trying to Puzzle Dust. So if the Forgotten Prince doesn't even remember cursing me, then I don't know if there's a way to get a condition to get the curse lifted. And so I had the thought, since you seem to know more about this Feywild stuff than I do, like, have you ever heard any stories or anything like that of, I don't know, like one archfey getting pitted against another one to like, could the Queen of the Forest help me with this problem if the Forgotten Prince is a non-starter?
Philip, what do I know about? I'm so sorry. This was not my list my list of questions to ask him this last week.
Archfey do sometimes have conflict with one another. Archfey rule different domains within Silanus. So if the Forest Queen were to be on the Forgotten Prince's domain, then he would be stronger than her, and the reverse would also be true. There are domains that overlap, and there are sometimes conflict between the Archfey, although since Archfey are essential concepts and are probably indestructible, you don't really see wars to the death existing between Archfey. It's more like rivalries, or either rivalries that are essential to their story, or rivalries that are like people who meet regularly for a chess game.
I am not aware of the Forest Queen having a current...
No, you don't know of one.
Okay. I think that learning the forest is a really good step, because I am sure that she would be willing to help you and speak to you, as long as you respect her and her domain. And so I don't know of her having a direct conflict with the Forgotten Prince, but she would be willing to help start. I'm just gonna start a fight.
Step up and start something. Okay, it was a thought I had, just because I don't know if we're gonna have the chance to go deal with the Forgotten Prince stuff or not. But if we get there and don't get anywhere, then I would like to at least hold on to the hope that maybe something else could be done. But yeah. So
do you think we should like go into the Feywild?
I mean, I don't see how I fix what's wrong with me without doing it. So you seem a lot more excited about it, which I'm grateful for. So yeah, I mean, I would be open and willing to go to the Feywild to try and figure out how to fix me. But yeah, So
I
don't know how the others would feel about that, but
have always wanted to go, but I do not want to go on my own. That seems
smart.
not super safe. And it's, y'all had a lot going on recently, and so I didn't want to impose or ask, but it kind of seems like it would be helpful to you now.
Yeah.
Do you think we can meet her? Do you think that we'll find her and then we'll get to like? Okay.
No, I mean, I like your excitement. I don't know. Like, I know nothing about this shade. I don't know what it would feel like to be face to face with an archfey. Honestly, the last time that I have been face to face with an archfey and it sucked. So I'm not super jazzed by the concept of it. But then again, she's different than him. So he, not a fan, but she might be great. I don't know. Yeah, but is great.
Right.
She is great. Yeah. So yeah, but no, I'm with you. Like, I'm here for a trip to the Feywild. I like your excitement, and if there's, I know that we've had a lot going on, and I've had a big part of a lot of that going on, but never think that what you want is an imposition on the rest of us. Like, if you want something, say it. Like, what you want is just as valid as anyone else. Maybe more valid, because I mean, I'm kind of vapid most times, but so
I'm learning that. It's, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, just never feel like you're in imposition.
She then, because the conversation has ended and she doesn't know what to do with that, she points out all of the things that she's been noticing while they were talking. So the family of 6 squirrels that's over in that tree across the way,
Nice.
the bird who's been hunting that grasshopper in that direction, the ocelot and what has caught the ocelot's eye. Just
Outstanding.
right. It's Ari and his fancy clothes.
It's awesome. All right, we pan away, briefly passing Esri's window. Through the window, we can hear Esri reading of the conquests of Subutai the Ninth, Khan of the Dakani Empire, and that's where we will leave this episode.
And slowly Jalaire's eyes close and Esri pulls the blanket.
Good night, sweet prince.
Tiptoes out. Oh, that was good. Thank you all so much for watching. New episodes of Khyber Shards drop every Friday. And, ooh, fancy.
Whoa.
Khyber Shards answers every Friday. You can get in touch with us on our Discord or on various social medias, all of which you can find linked down below, where you'll also find a link to Colin's Twitch, where he is sorry, BTR, the O is 0. Thank you so much for the support you give to the show. We definitely appreciate any of the engagement buttons that you would like to push. If you'd like to leave us a comment, tell us, because this is a school. It's going to need some, teachers who have any skill in pedagogy. Pitch me a weird professor that can come teach aberrant youngsters at this school. Down in the comments
Didn't
below.
feel at all weird explaining to a teacher how to teach in character. I was like, I'm probably getting all of this wrong, but
This is so
Ari's doing his best.
Intensely funny to me because I worked with Casey and I know what a fantastic teacher she is. This is just magnificent. I'm loving it. Anyway, thank you all so much. This has been Khyber Shards. Thanks for rolling with us.